Okay.
We can either leave the meeting now with no hard feelings, or you can click got it. Okay.
We're so concerned with anonymity here.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Last night at I don't know what time it was, 8 or 9 o'clock, I followed Leslie's lead and decided I would explore the chat GPT
Oh,
artificial intelligence site and app. And first question, I went and found how to ask it questions and so on. So first question I asked it is, are you familiar with the book called I Am That? I didn't want to give it away by saying Nisargadatta's I Am That, because it's, after all, supposed to know so much, right? And it said, sure am. It's highly regarded in spiritual circles. So I hit one of those, would you expand on that question? And I said, no, so why is it so important? so well regarded in spiritual circles. And here's what they gave me, if I can get it up. Here's what it gave me. Can you see that?
yes.
Yep.
The response. Several reasons. The book contains profound and direct teachings on the nature of reality, consciousness, and the self. You capitalized, that's all right. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's words are often described as concise, clear, and uncompromising. Isn't that just right on the money?
Yes, it is.
Cutting through layers of conditioning and pointing, isn't that good too? And pointing to the fundamental truth of existence. Well,
Wow.
what a start.
Yeah, those buzzwords.
Yeah.
Non-dual perspective. The book emphasizes a non-dualistic perspective, which is a central tenet in many spiritual traditions. Non-duality suggests that there is no fundamental separation between the self and the world, and that all apparent distinctions are illusory. This perspective can lead to a direct experience of unity and a shift in one's perception of reality. Yes, says a lot there. It gives the whole idea of sadhana in many respects. Direct pointing. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj is known for his direct and immediate style of teaching. Again, rather than relying on complex theories, which he hated, or intellectual concepts, which he equally hated, he points directly to the truth, encouraging readers to inquire into their own nature and question their assumptions about reality. That's so true. It's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 to chapter 101. And I Am That. This approach resonates with seekers who are looking for an experiential understanding beyond intellectual understanding. There you go. That's what we want, experiential, not intellectual.
Wow.
Beyond. Clarity and authenticity, the dialogues are based on real conversations that took place between Maharaj and his visitors. I later suggested, I suggest you replace visitors with questioners. They said, thank you. Authenticity and sincerity of these exchanges, along with Maharaj's own realization and embodiment of his teachings, have contributed to the book's reputation as a genuine spiritual guide. Universal appeal. Although I Am That is rooted in Advaita Vedanta tradition of Hindu philosophy, its teachings transcend specific religious or cultural frameworks. Joseph Goldstein liked it a lot. He got there just before Nisargadatta died.
Oh, wow.
And he said, he's not a seeker, he's a finder. That was what Goldstein said. The insights shared in this book resonate with individuals from various spiritual backgrounds and can be applied to one's own spiritual journey regardless of belief systems. Overall, the book is highly regarded in spiritual circles because it offers profound insights and direct pointers to the nature of reality, providing a transformative and liberating perspective for those seeking spiritual awakening and self-realization. How is that for just saying, why is it so popular in I thought it was spectacular.
It's amazing.
They should just take that and put it in the description on Amazon.
Really, they do better than what they have. Yes. By the way, I forwarded this to you as you can be collaborators. I sent this to you last night, so you may have read it already.
No, I have not.
Just wanted to start it. If you haven't got it, let me know. Okay, so that's that. Now,
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
really impressive and instructive. I mean, it's a nice summary with hitting so many really important points about why he's so good and why the book is so all 500 pages of it.
And
So
how long did it take for that to appear?
a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm on the free version. This is the original one that they released maybe in March or February, something like that, and set the world aflame. And then they've gone on to version 4.0. But this one is free to anybody who gets on and puts their registers with it. No money, no credit cards. And they say it's a little slower and you won't get the latest things. So, if you want to pay $20 a month, then, but I'm not ready for $20 a month because this is more than I ever saw before. I went through this for hours last night and thought this is like discovering the internet. Only the internet when it came out was really slow.
Yeah.
Really slow.
Painful.
Really slow.
Yeah. But here it is.
Well, and I'm interested that because you've studied it so much that you really like what it said.
I told them that. I mean, they asked for your response,
Yeah.
I told them, yeah.
Um,
Pretty impressive. I think what impresses me most is, conditioning, the use of conditioning, the use of pointing as, referencing pointers.
Yes.
It's like,
The
wow.
vocabulary, yeah.
Well, text files, the text files we have of long books, like 500 to 1,000 page books, are very tiny files, just a couple of megabytes, few megabytes, maybe 10 megabytes. I think the entire Oxford English Dictionary, 26 volumes, folio size volumes, is 10 megabytes.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, what takes up megabytes is images.
Well, 1,000 times that's a gigabyte. 1,000 times that is a tetrabyte. 1,000 times that is a petabyte. And these AI transformative generators have absorbed hundreds of petabytes of text.
Wow.
They've used bigger and bigger and bigger systems. So what they work with is they have billions of parameters that decides which way to go in computer code and where not to go, especially make a mistake. And they put it all together. It's just amazing.
Well, I think we're witnessing right here the beginning of a whole new era.
It is good or bad because it has.
Oh, yeah, no. There are articles about how bad it is and how bad it is going to be and all, and how it's inevitable that what do they call them? The bad actors or whatever they call them are going to really.
Yeah. It is dangerous as heck.
Yeah, it's going to be very scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw something online this week that was, I looked at it, just kind of casually, and it looked like, normal, whatever it was. I don't even remember whether it was an ad or a video or a post on, I don't remember, but whatever it was, somewhere in the bottom, it mentioned that it was completely AI generated. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in for a rough rodeo here.
Well, think of what it can do. I mean, one of the things you may have read this, if a guy in organic chemistry wants to study one of the thousands and thousands of proteins, this guy or woman, scientist, will do a whole thesis about it. It'll take them 5 years of research to do a program and look at and analyze and get a whole picture of one protein, because they're so complex. Whereas these things can do them, hundreds in a few minutes.
And as a friend of mine posted kind of sarcastically on Facebook yesterday, he lives in South Carolina, used to live in North Carolina, used to live in LA, and he's a writer, a movie writer.
Yeah.
And he said, I used to write, sometimes it'd take me a week, sometimes it'd take me a month. I'd write scripts. And now with AI, anybody want to join me in my application for being a greeter at Walmart?
That's exactly what the Screenwriters Guild is striking about. That's one of the conditions they're striking about. They want to be guaranteed not to be replaced by AI, and the producers are saying, we can't promise that.
No, why would a producer whose job is to control expenditures make that promise? You got to go find a new job, dude. Just like poll workers have to go find a new job. I mean, it's really transformative what's happening here.
Well,
and it's happening really quickly.
On an intermediate level, the best writers can tell the best AI programs what to do. I mean, somebody has to give them
but that's going to be a very few amount of people.
It's very simple. I mean, look what I just did with this.
Wow.
Very well regarded. Boom.
Right. And I think, like Leslie, it's going to be a big, and I've already seen talks about this, it's going to be a big issue for professors.
Sure. No, last night I said, I spent hours with it. I said, have you learned Sanskrit yet? Yes, I'm getting there. I can read it and I can write it to some degree, and I've absorbed a whole lot of text in it. You bet they've absorbed a whole lot of text in it. Mm-hmm. So I took these technical terms from Advaita Vedanta philosophy, which I'll get to. When you learn spiritual teachings, you're supposed to, first of all, hear it. If you're lucky to hear it, that's considered you've had a good birth. So if you've heard it, that's good. Then you have to think about it and make sure that it makes logical sense to you until it makes logical sense to you, or if not, you reject it, of course. And third, you study it so well and integrate it into your life that it becomes part of you and your whole spiritual makeup. These are called hearing, shravana, thinking it over, making the sense of it, manana, which is related to manas, mind, and is an intensive form of the verb to. It really comes from the verb to meditate, which is dhyana, meditation. That's not a verb. That's actually the noun from the verb. But anyways, from the root D, so the fancy word they make of it, the intensive form of meditation on something is nididhyasana. So I said to it, define shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Boom, there it was.
Wow.
I'm walking around the place going, whoopee.
Somebody else still paying attention to Sanskrit. Somebody else. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And when I asked it, is learning Sanskrit? Oh, Sanskrit is so important for these reasons. And I said, yeah, could you expand on that? Yes, I won't do that for you now. That's getting too far afield. We're doing Nisargadatta Maharaj, but I wanted you to see that because it was so interesting.
That is really fascinating.
It is.
Okay, now I can share the screen and I will get up. Yes, actually, Leslie is here. Good. So I'm going to try and answer your question in the first 40 minutes or so here today. And a good place to start is actually, we meditated, how to meditate in the Nisargadatta style. Last week's meditation gives us a great start at that. So I'm going to play a little bit of that just to put you in the mood and to remind you of it. And then we'll interrupt that and we'll go on to a video. And then we'll come back to meditation, if I keep things straight. So let me share my screen. So let me see what I've got going in. I think this one is in Chrome. Nope, not that one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so I'm going to play this one now. Let me get back to sharing my screen with you all. Make the screen bigger for me. Share the screen, share the sound, optimize for video clip. Play a little bit of last week's meditation. Oops, that's the wrong one. Oh, no, this is it. Okay. Let me know if there's any problems on your end. Here we go.
When you sit quietly and watch yourself, all kinds of things will come to the surface. Do nothing about them. Don't react to them. As they have come, so they will go by themselves. All that matters is mindfulness. Total awareness of oneself, or rather, of one's mind. The mind must be open and quiet to see. What we are trying to do here is to bring our minds into the right state for understanding what is real. Keep quietly alert, inquiring into the real nature of yourself. Relax and watch the I am. Do not try to be quiet. Do not make being quiet into a task to be performed. There is nothing to practice. To know yourself, be yourself. Let your true nature emerge. There is nothing to do. Just be. Do nothing. Be. Just being aware and affectionate intensely. Keep very quiet. And watch what comes to the surface of the mind. Now, go within. Into a state in which you are aware of yourself, but not of the world. Begin by being the dispassionate observer. shifting the emphasis from the superficial, changeful person to the immutable and ever-present witness. Letting thoughts flow and watching them. The very observation slows down the mind until it stops altogether. Don't get bored with peace. Be in it. Go deeper into it. Whenever a thought or emotion of desire or fear comes to your mind, just turn away from it. Look between the thoughts rather than at the thoughts. You need not stop thinking. Just cease being interested. Don't hold on. That is all. Leave your mind alone. That is all. Come to a state in which there is no knowledge, only being. In which being itself is knowledge. Forget the known. But remember that you are the knower. You are beyond the experience. Ever unborn and deathless. In remembering it, the quality of pure knowledge will emerge. the lights of unconditional awareness. There is no how here. Just keep in mind the feeling, I am. Merge in it. Until your mind and feeling become one. I am calling you back to yourself. Look at yourself. Towards yourself. Into yourself. Back to your natural state. Cling to one thing that matters. Hold on to I am. And let go of all else. As you watch your mind, you discover yourself as the watcher. stand motionless. Only watching. Discover yourself as the light behind the watcher. That source alone is. Go back to that source and abide there. Go beyond. Go back to the source. Go back to the self that is the same whatever happens. There are no conditions to fulfill. There is nothing to be done. Nothing to be given up. Just look and remember. Whatever you perceive is not you, nor yours. It is there in the field of consciousness. But you are not the field, nor its contents. Nor even the knower of the field. Look at yourself in total silence. Do not describe yourself. Just as the person digging a well discards what is not water until they reach the water-bearing strata. You will find that what is left is nothing which the mind can hook onto. You just are. A point of awareness. Coextensive with time and space. And beyond both. the ultimate cause, itself uncaused. Pure awareness of being, without being this or that. Without any self-identification. Or anything in particular. In that pure light of consciousness, there is nothing. Not even the idea of nothing. There is only light. The person merges into the witness. The witness into awareness. Awareness into pure being. Yet, identity is not lost. Only its limitations are lost. It is transfigured and becomes the real self. The eternal friend and guide. the inner guru who directs and helps from within. Awareness comes as if from a higher dimension. All you need is already within you. Approach yourself with reverence and love. Relax and watch the I am. Reality is just behind it. Keep quiet. Keep silent. It will emerge. It will take you in. The mind cannot know what is beyond the mind. But the mind is known by what is beyond it. When the mind is quiet, it reflects reality. When it is motionless through and through, it dissolves. And only reality remains. Give attention to the reality within, and it will come to light. Keep on remembering, I am neither the mind nor its ideas. Do it patiently and with conviction. And you will surely come to the direct vision of yourself as a source of being. Knowing loving, eternal, all embracing, all pervading. You are the infinite, focused in a body.
That's as far as I wanted to go with this one. I didn't know where the time steps were, but I want to draw your attention back again. The lines I have on screen now. Relax and watch the I am. Reality is just behind it. What he means by the I am is, as has been said elsewhere, is not the words I am. It's existence, being itself. You're meditating on just being. As he says over and over, just be, just be. And there are several more stages that go beyond that. As you read through this, up to this point, this is kind of gateless gate to self-realization.
I loved the nothing and beyond the concept of nothing.
Yes, there's no concepts. I had a thought on this. When they talk about the deep, the deepest saints we know, we can call them saints, sages, whatever you want to call them. We often hear the Nisargadatta wants to free you of concepts. In the next meditation, as is his wont, he drops a kind of bomb. And he says, forget about ideas. There are no good ideas. What does that mean? It means in this highest state, nobody says there's ideas involved. You're not shifting through ideas and concepts. It's pure knowing, awareness, stillness, exquisite existence. It's not even existence, because it is absolute. It is beyond, totally transcending the world of opposites. So it even transcends existence and non-existence, because those are opposites. These are the things I taught for years in graduate schools, and the more I hear them, the more they sink in. That's where he talks about Parabrahman. That's his expression for this absolute, which is beyond all opposites, all qualities of this or that, as he says. Forget that you are this or that. You are, but you're not this or that, because this and that are opposites. And part of that feeling is a feeling of no distinction at all. We are the drops, molecules of water reabsorbed in the ocean, and all we are conscious of is the ocean. But he said above, you don't lose your identity, you lose your sense of identity. Think about that for a while.
Yeah.
Now, this brings us to Leslie's question. We sort of answered it. What is this I am? It sounds like you're being just apart from everybody else. There is no everybody else at this point. It's just, that's the experience of these people that they've reported back to us. All the while telling us that words are inadequate, totally inadequate. Because words are things, ideas, here in the world of opposites. Which is not totally unreal. Nobody says, the idea is, you often hear say, oh, they say the world is false, the world does not exist. No, we're just understanding part of it, that's all. Because we have limited range. Our senses told us, we look at the horizon, I'm looking at the horizon, no, it looks like it's flat. The only way I can be at this height, which is about 225 feet above the ocean, the only way I can tell that the world isn't flat, is if a very tall ship were to sail to the point of the horizon and then slowly loses the bottom of the ship, gradually, until the top of the ship disappears. Otherwise, our senses have told us and told humans for millions of years that the world was flat. Obviously, it's flat, right? There's a place in Spain, there's a bay in Spain where you look across from that bay and you see only the tops of tall buildings 20 miles away on the other side of the bay. That proves the world is flat. I don't know how high. I tried to look it up. It's quite a distance. You have to go up above sea level, really into near space, before you can see the actual roundness of the earth. You see the horizon, yes, but to take it in as round, you have to go up quite high. So the point of that is that the senses are not wrong. They're just limited.
Okay.
That's all. And that's what caused people to think the sun revolves around the earth. Why shouldn't they? So we learn better. We think objects are all solid. We wrap our fist on the table, hurts your hand, makes the table go thump. But they're all just atoms with tons of space in between. And if you go down small enough to the subatomic level, there's no real distinction where your body leaves off the limits of your skin leave off and the rest of existence begins. Every time we look at the JWST, the James Webb Webb Space Telescope, we're looking at a translation of infrared light. We couldn't see it. We couldn't see what it sees unless we used infrared filters. If we're standing before a blazing fire, we see the light of the fire because that's in the visible spectrum. But right beneath it is the heat spectrum. That's the infrared spectrum. We can feel it only as heat, but we can't see it. So we say we're not saying the world doesn't exist, the universe doesn't exist. It's just that there's far beyond what we can take on, and our minds, which are designed by how many generations of evolution to exist and reproduce in this world, are designed for that, existing and reproducing in this world that we see with our senses. So why did he say I am? It doesn't come through very well. And the title of the book is I Am That, which sounds very dualistic. There's I and then there's that, right? It's not, it seemed a little easier if he said I am this, But he's trying to lead you from the world of duality through what he says in the book to the world of absolute consciousness. And people often hear that and they are confused by that until they realize what he's after. When he says he wants you to think of this sense of your own existence, and he also says, don't use the words I am. He didn't use them in Marathi, and we don't have to use them in English. Just meditate them on your very existence and fall into it. Be patient and see what lies beyond. It will emerge, it will take you in, as it says. Keep quiet, keep silent. It will emerge, it will take you in. And this is the foreshadowing of this next meditation, one where I actually translated for today. We probably won't get to it. But the mind cannot know what is beyond the mind, but the mind is known by what is beyond it. How beautifully put. So how do we plug in this reality? When the mind is quiet, it reflects reality. When it is motionless through and through, it dissolves and only reality remains. So I was getting to the misapprehension of the term I am. So when he says, I am not this, I am not that, he's saying, you're not your body, you're not your mind. You're not the ideas of the mind. You are the awareness, which has no qualities that can be explained by the mind except in terms of negativity. That's the not this, not that of the Upanishads. He says many times, the mind is good only insofar as telling you what you are not. After that, keep it quiet and let it reflect reality. So, just like his expression, meditate on the I am it's only a pointer to get you away from the body, the mind, and ideas, and go and let the mind get you to the point of stilling your mind, let the reality behind it stand forth. It's a cognizant experience. You know, and you are so, and it's exquisite happiness, they say. Satchidananda, being, awareness, and bliss.
Mm.
I had a little movie prepared because it showed, yes, we have time you can see some of that. It reflects on this. It also talks about Ramana Maharshi. This, by the way, when you do this is all called Atmavichara, or self-inquiry. Inquiry, you inquire about what is real until you find the self, capital S, what you really are, your true nature. Reality, if you want to put it that way. Reality is maybe the best way. These are not for everybody. They are for those who are lucky enough to hear it, meditate on it, and hear it. Think about it until you understand the sense it makes. Get a sense of how the sense it makes, and then meditate on it and let it seep into your very existence. That's the Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. I looked up last night. Yes, so both Ramana and Nisargadatta said some people really have to get there through dualism. So they say, I give up. They surrender to the idea of whatever their the 33 million gods, as they say in Hinduism. And it's, in a way, it's a way of putting your ego through another change. it works for a lot of people, and bless them. Eventually, the saints that we're studying here, the sages, whatever you want to call them, realized beings, jnanis, the people who have the sacred knowledge. They all believe that the people who are devotional are purifying their minds, and will get there sooner or later. And what's the problem? Time and space are both conceptual. From their point of view, they're already there. Just that little those points of existence will soon realize that there's an emergent power. There's drops in the ocean, or as they say in Sanskrit, the ocean of bliss. How's that?
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share while I find that movie.
Okay, I'll be right back while you find that movie.
Oh, since we're all taking a break, I'll take a break too. Need a couple of minutes.
Well, what happened to, oh, Dan's head is gone. Look at Dan's head.
Yes.
It looks like a Magritte painting.
Leslie, are you okay?
Maybe she nodded off.
She put a note in the chat that she was having vertigo.
Yeah, I saw that. Sometimes a deep massage can do that. I've only had it happen once,
Right.
but that one time was really intense. I mean, they always tell you sit down, drink water in case you get dizzy or you get blurred vision or you can't see. And I went, what? And then one time, holy moly. Wow.
She's can listen, but she's not feeling very well to respond right now.
Oh, thanks, Royce.
Yeah.
We hope she feels better. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
But she's okay, right, Royce?
I will be.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like Dan's image looks like Leslie. Sounds like she feels.
Yes, very much so.
But Dan's gone headless.
Yes, exactly. Exactamente. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Did you feel this meditation this time? How much better it was than last time?
Yes, it was really good.
Wow,
What do you mean, how much better in what way?
deeper. It just hit me as much more deeply.
Yeah.
Sort of teaching it, so there's a,
Yeah, I had a very interesting response myself. I was very tired when I got on the Zoom, and I wasn't even sure. I've been up really early and I've been doing lots and lots of writing and reading, and so I was just very tired. And I thought I wasn't even sure, if I could stay here. And I just began to feel energized. Like now I'm just like lit up.
I am too.
It just removed all of that tiredness. I feel great.
That's a really, really good one.
Yeah. There's something beyond that's enacted.
Oh, you fall into an exquisitely beautiful sense of stillness.
Mhm.
Just transcendent.
Mhm.
So this is the one I try to listen to as soon as I wake up. On an ideal day, but I like to listen to it just very often, but it's penetrating my defenses more and more,
Mhm.
more and more and more.
Yeah.
So Leslie's still here. We're gonna lose her. So let's play some of this movie. Conti found this on Sunday and we listened to it, and there's a couple of places in there. I don't know if I'll get to them today, but when they make comparisons between Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta and how close their teachings were. And for years, I mean, there's a very famous section of the Bhagavad Gita, like verses 10 through 52, I think, of the second chapter. What is the mark of a realized person? How do you recognize a realized person? What's their life like? And there's this really fantastic verse. No. Oh, I just had it here. Oh, yes. Ya nisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. That which is night for all creatures, all the creatures of the world, stir in this world and move about. But they don't at night they are asleep, they're still. But in that night, in which all the creatures of the world are still, in that light, the meditating sage, those are his waking hours.
When all is still.
And that night, and that world of the living and the moving and the stirring and the acting, Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, that in which all the creatures of the world are up and about and moving, Sanisha Pashyato Munehe. That is the night for the enlightened, seeing, silent sage. Muni means silent sage. So Mauna is silence, stillness, stillness. Not just a person who takes a vow of silence, but a person who experiences the deepest silence. So Ramana Maharshi said, what good does it do to take a vow of silence when your mind is running amok? None whatsoever. He's talking about more than that, right? So that came up in this movie we were going to watch, and it was part of those around 40 verses or so that I'd memorized in Sanskrit and used to recite waiting on train platforms in Japan, walking from the train platform in my university town to the university and back again. And I came across this beautiful verse all of a sudden. I thought, how mysterious. What does that mean? Well, I just read, thanks to this movie, that there is a portion of the collected writings of Ramana Maharshi when he says his state, I have it here. The state of a jnani is neither sleep nor the waking state, but intermediate between the two. There is the awareness of the waking state and the stillness of sleep. It is called Jagrat Sushupti, these words that just came from the Gita here, waking sleep. Called wakeful sleep or sleeping wakefulness, or sleepless waking or wakeless sleep. It is not the same as sleep and waking separately. It is beyond. It is a state of perfect awareness and perfect stillness combined. It lies between sleep and waking. It is also the interval between two successive thoughts. That's why I keep telling you, look between the thoughts. There it is. There we go. I'll read a little more.
Can we have that quote somewhere, that between the waking and sleeping business? That's really good.
Oh, it occurs over and over in the sacred literature.
Oh,
Is it like lucid dreaming?
I don't think so. I think that's a lower state, but it's okay.
It seems similar.
Similar, yes, it's related perhaps, but this is the best of both worlds.
Beyond, yeah.
It is the source from which thoughts spring. We see that when we wake up from sleep. We see that when we wake that source when we wake up from sleep. In other words, thoughts have their origin in the stillness of sleep. The thoughts make all the difference between the stillness of sleep and the turmoil of waking. Go to the root of the thoughts and you reach the stillness of sleep. But you reach it in the full vigor of search. That is, with perfect awareness.
which is why they talk about watch where the thoughts come from. Watch the thoughts coming.
Yes, very, very good, Nadine, very good. Great. So, let's see, I have,
Hard to do.
it's 10 to 4. If you have time to watch some more of this movie is only, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, but I'd really planned to just show about 10 or 10 minutes maybe of it all.
Let's watch it.
I've got time.
Yeah.
I just got to find the timestamps. I wrote down the timestamps just before this session started. Okay, here I'm going to share my screen. This is the movie Conti, bless her heart, found for me last weekend.
Oh, Conti, you lovely girl.
You see it? Okay, so 4:04. I should do it. I'm going to skip around a little bit in this. Wait a minute. Did you hear that sound and all that? Guess not. Let me share the screen again and get it up again to make sure I've got everything checked. Yeah, it's shown. Okay,
I
ready.
think
Oh, we heard it.
we heard it, Dan,
Yeah.
Somebody want to check.
but
Hi.
do they know that that person is his teacher?
We're not even going to talk about Siddha Rameshwara in this clips I have here yet. I'm just not playing the whole thing.
Okay,
Unless you really want to see all 20 minutes of it.
no, I don't think. We're running out of time.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
When Nisargadatta took Siddharameshwar Maharaj as his guru, Siddharameshwar gave a mantra and some very straightforward meditation instructions, which Nisargadatta followed exactly. In the words of Nisargadatta, my guru ordered me to attend to the sense I am and to give attention to nothing else. I just obeyed. I did not follow any particular course of breathing, meditation, or study of scriptures. Whatever happened, I would turn away my attention from it and remain with the sense I am. It may look too simple, even crude. My only reason for doing it was that my guru told me so. Yet it worked. Nisargadatta practiced his guru's meditation instructions in any spare moment he had between his responsibilities to his family and to his business. My guru told me, go back to that state of pure being, where the I am is still in its purity before it got contaminated with this I am or that I am. Your burden is of false identifications. Abandon them all. I simply followed his instructions, which was to focus the mind on pure being, I am, and stay in it. I used to sit for hours together with nothing but the I am in my mind. And soon the peace and joy and deep all-embracing love became my normal state. In it, all disappeared. Myself, my guru, the life I lived, and the world around me. Only peace remained, an unfathomable silence.
Okay, now I'm going to skip ahead. That was nice. 6:25.
Suddenly and irrevocably, that there was nothing wrong anymore. He would spend the rest of his life in Mumbai, keeping only one of his shops so as to earn an income for his family. In his humble flat, Nisargadatta had a mezzanine was constructed, and it was from there he met daily with visitors that came to him. Nisargadatta's lineage of Inchigeri Sampradaya had traditionally taught primarily mantra meditation. However, although Nisargadatta often gave a mantra to his students, in his teachings and discourses, Nisargadatta shifted the emphasis from mantra meditation to self-inquiry. Nisargadatta taught what has been called Nisarg Yoga. The primary self-inquiry that Nisargadatta suggested was the one given to him by his guru, and that was to bring attention back consistently to the inherent feeling of existing. In other words, to meditate on the feeling I am. However, Nisargadatta said that I am was merely a gateway. The aim of meditation of the felt sense of I am was to reach the ultimate source prior to the arising of the I am. Nisargadatta called this ultimate source Parabrahma. He said that the feeling of I am arose from conception with the appearance of the body and was maintained by breath and food. Take away breath and or food, and the feeling I am would soon disappear. The ultimate reality was not the I am. In fact, I am is the primary illusion from which all other illusion arises. The ultimate reality, Parabrahma, is that which is prior to the arising of the I am. Simply put, Nisargadatta suggests, meditate on the feeling I am until the illusory nature of I am is revealed. The ultimate reality, Parabrahma, prior to I am, is pure, unbounded awareness. Awareness, however, that is not aware of itself. It merely is. Nisargadatta taught a three-staged hierarchy of consciousness. First was the Jiva Atma. This is the one who identifies himself as a body and personality. They stand apart as an individual apart from the world because they identify themselves as their body, mind. Second was beingness or I amness. This I amness can be known or meditated upon. It resolves differences of self and world into its singular beingness. It is, however, egoity in its purest form and the seed illusion of separate self. Thus, the illusory nature of I am, of beingness itself, must be realized. It must be passed through and gone beyond. Third was the ultimate or Parabrahma. Of the ultimate, nothing can be really said. The closest pointer would be non-being or nothingness or emptiness or even pure awareness. unaware of itself. However, once we pass beyond beingness or I amness, words are virtually useless. It is this non-being from which being or I amness arises and falls back into. Non-being or the ultimate is the ground that allows for the rising of being. Nisargadatta's practice was to meditate on beingness or I am until its illusory nature was realized, thereby naturally and effortlessly resting in the ultimate or non-being or awareness unaware of itself. The great Indian saint and sage of the 20th century, Ramana Maharishi, points to the ultimate in a very similar to Nisargadatta when he says, anything outside deep, dreamless sleep is unreal.
Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead to the last portion. 1556.
Can you scroll it down so we can see his whole head?
The two teachers who have had the most effect on Western students of Advaita Vedanta or non-dualism over the last 30 years have been Nisargadatta Maharaj and Sri Ramana Maharishi. Are their teachings in any way similar? Do they complement each other?
This is as far down as it scrolls. I can't make it any lower.
For many, the answer is yes. Nisargadatta's primary message was mediate on the sense of I am until the I am is seen to be illusory. Ramana's primary message was to inquire, who am I? The inquiry was suggested by Ramana so that one might see very clearly that there was in fact no I present. The one we presume to be thinking our thoughts is actually only itself a thought. Nisargadatta casts that sense of I was a root feeling of I am, which is seen as illusory. We may get a better understanding of what is being pointed to by both teachers if we listen to Ramana's words about his own state. Ramana said that he was in the condition of Jagrat Sushupti. Jagrat is the fully awake state. Sushupti is the state of deep, dreamless sleep. Ramana said that he was both in Jagrat and Sushupti simultaneously. In other words, Jagrat Sushupti. Ramana often pointed to the state of deep, dreamless sleep as revealing or pointing to our real being. In fact, Ramana said, nothing outside deep, dreamless sleep is real, and deep, dreamless sleep reveals to us the state of true being, of our true happiness. Feel or imagine for a moment what Ramana might mean by these words. Feel or imagine the utter bliss of deep, dreamless sleep, pure, boundless freedom from everything. Is there a worldly bliss that can match it? Now imagine that state of blissful, deep, dreamless sleep and being profoundly awake and completely and utterly present. Hold on to that feeling or imagination for a moment. Imagine out of that state of profound awakeness and the bliss of deep, dreamless sleep that the feeling sense of I am suddenly arises. Can you see or feel why Nisargadatta called I am the primary illusion? Can you see or feel that I am is the root of all sense of separation and the pinching off of our natural and inherent boundless bliss? Can you see that your life can unfold perfectly and harmoniously without the slightest feeling sense of I am? Can you see why Nisargadatta suggested to mediate on the sense of I am until the sense of I am is seen to be illusory? Nisargadatta called the sense of I am Brahma. Nisargadatta called that which is prior to I am Par Brahma. Ramana's state of Jagrat Sushupti is the state prior to the arising of the illusory field sense of I am. After 3 years of intensive meditation on the feeling sense of I am, according to the instructions of his guru, Nisargadatta transcended the feeling sense of I am and awakened to the ultimate reality. Nisargadatta once expressed his realized state in these brief words: there is simply nothing wrong anymore.
That's it. We'll do Dawn of Wisdom next week.
Okay,
Nothing wrong.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
What a great session, Dan.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Kind of perfect, really.
A lot to me, you could tell. So,
And
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We are so lucky.
We are, and we're also lucky that we're here,
Hmm.
like that we come, that we have this willingness to be here.
Yep.
I found you so I could have a reason to do it.
Exactly.
That works.
Yeah, for us. Thank you.
It's a package, yes.
It's great. Thank you so much. That was like one of my favorite ever. That was so good.
Great.
And Leslie, we hope you're feeling better very soon.
Yes, and we'll miss you when you're gone.
Oh, so much. Terrible.
We may have lost her already.
Well, hopefully she's having a nap and feeling better. So
I'm glad Royce is with her,
Happy
so.
thought. That's a happy thought. Yeah.
Okay, you're muted.
Okay.
Well,
No, I'll feel better here pretty quick. I just can't move yet.
okay.
oh yeah. All right. Well, feel better, Leslie, and we will
Love
miss
to you.
you.
Much,
Okay.
much love to you.
Miss you terribly and look forward so much to your coming back.
Yeah. We'll be counting the days.
This was such a lovely session. I just couldn't turn it off. So I just kept my eyes closed and enjoyed it that way. So thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Great.
pleasure's all mine.
And happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Feliz tardes. Okay, thank you everyone for being here, and thank you, Dan, for that wonderful
Yes. You hold,
experience.
you hold the space for this
Thank you
meeting.
for finding the video.
Contact
Nice
note?
work. Thanks, everyone.
Leslie, are you able to join us on Zoom like Heidi does?
I hope to. We'll see how life goes up there, but I hope to.
It would be wonderful.
Someday, she's thinking about it. She's got to find a way to pull it off. That's all.
Yeah. In the past, she has said that, you know, she's focused on what she's doing there when she's there. And I really understand that. When I used to travel, I would be in different places for several months at a time. I loved what I did at home with my friends, but I had to be immersed in where I was and what I was doing there. So I don't want to speak for you, Leslie, but I think that's what you've said before.
But anyhow, we'll see. The day gets going, and it's hard sometimes to figure out what time it even is. But I'll see what I can do, because I hate to miss it.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
We would love to see you.
I'll steal the line of one of my favorite bloggers, which struck me as very non-dual. The line is a closing salutation to the blog every time she writes it. She signs off saying, "We're all in this together."
Great. All right. We are all in this together.
We are.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. It's been a blessing.
Yes.
So
Thank
glad you could join us, Carol.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll leave.
Nadine, do you have time to stay on and talk?
Oh, I can talk. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Hello.
Yeah. I got an interesting email from Martina.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what did Martina say?
I can imagine.
Okay.
Idea.
She
Uh,
you were going up to her tomorrow.
on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Sorry, tomorrow's Wednesday. Pardon me, my days are
Let's see.
Yeah.
What,
Thursday.
here we go. Oh, yeah. I think you will love this.
Dean, stop the
I-
recording.
Oh, good idea. Good idea, Dan.